You worked so hard to build this business. First year was exciting. Clients coming in, revenue growing. You thought this is it. Second year was even better. And then year 3 happened. Everything slowed down. Sales stalled, growth stopped. You're doing the same things that worked before, maybe even more, but nothing's moving. Let me be clear upfront. This is not fortune telling. This is pattern recognition based on 5,000 years of documented observation. Your birth chart does not predict your future. It reveals your patterns, your timings, your cycles, and patterns can be changed once you see them clearly. Here's what I see constantly with business owners. First year, sales flowing, growth happening, everything feels aligned. Second year, still good, maybe even better. Third year, suddenly nothing works. Same effort, same hustle, but the results just stopped. And here's the part that really stings. Meanwhile, someone who started 6 months after you is doing better than you ever did. They're posting wins on LinkedIn, they're hiring, they're growing, and you're wondering, what did I do wrong? Here's what I tell every business owner who sits in front of me with this question. You did not do anything wrong. This is not about your strategy, your product, your effort. It's about timing. Let me explain with a simple analogy. When you started your business, you didn't just start a business. You stepped onto a specific planetary energy, a Dasha period in a chart. Think of it like stepping into a moving escalator. For the first few years, that escalator was going up. Everything felt easier because the energy was supporting you. But every escalator has a point where it levels out or changes direction. When you hit year 2 or 3, you often hit one of these transition points, either within your current planetary period or into a new completely phase. And the person who started after you, they stepped onto a different escalator, different timing, different chart. Okay, this is not about who works harder. It's about understanding your specific cosmic timing. And once you understand this, you stop blaming yourself for something that is not your fault. Let's dive into the first area, the Dasha system. In Vedic astrology, we have something called the Dasha system. Think of it as a 120-year playlist where different planets take turn being the DJ of your life. Each planet plays for a specific number of years. Sun plays for 6 years, Moon for 10, Mars for 7, Saturn for 19, and Jupiter for 16, and so on. Whichever planet is playing during a phase of your life, that planet's energy colors everything, your decisions, your opportunities, your challenges. It's like background music that shapes the mood of your life. Now, here's where it gets interesting for business owners. Within each major planetary period, we call it Mahadasha. There are smaller periods called Antardasha. Think of these as tracks within the album. You might be in Jupiter's 16-year Mahadasha, which is generally great for expansion, but within that, you might enter Mercury's Antardasha for about 2 years and 3 months. If Mercury is sitting comfortably in your chart, maybe in your 10th house or 11th house, no problem. The expansion continues. But if Mercury is sitting in what we call a challenging house like the 6th, 8th, or 12th, suddenly the growth engine sputters. Same you, same effort, but different energy. Your 10th house is basically your career house. Everything related to business, profession, reputation, public success, it all lives here. And the strength of its lord during your current planetary period, that determines where your business boat is sailing, with the wind or against it. Now, let's talk about something most people don't know. Your business has its own chart. It's not just your birth chart. It's not just your birth chart that matters. Your business has a birth chart too. This changes everything. The exact moment you registered your business, signed those papers, got your GST number, officially launched, That moment create a separate horoscope for your business. That business chart has its own dasha running, its own planetary period, and its own timing cycle. So when I analyze business stagnation, I look at two charts, your birth chart and your current dasha. Okay, and also your business chart and its current dasha. Sometimes the stagnation is in your chart, sometimes it's in the business chart, sometimes it's both aligning at the same time. Double challenge, right? Understanding which chart is creating the block tells us exactly where to focus. This is why the ancient texts emphasize starting any venture during a Shubh Muhurat, an auspicious time. Shubhe Muhurte Arambha Sarva Karya Siddhi. Beginning at an auspicious Muhurat grants success in all undertakings because you're literally choosing the birth chart of your business. Now, let me tell you about a planet that most people fear but should not. Saturn. Most people hear Shani and immediately think something bad is going to happen. But here's what I have learned from studying classical text and real chart. Saturn is actually the planet of business success. Long term, sustainable, unshakable success. But the catch? Saturn doesn't give you the success. Saturn makes you earn it. Saturn takes approx 2.5 years to move through each zodiac sign. This is important, okay? Be with me. If you started your business when Saturn was in a supportive position, maybe transiting your 11th house of gains or ninth house of luck, you got a grace period. Saturn was helping behind the scenes. But 2.5 years later, Saturn has moved to the next sign. And if that next sign happens to be your 10th house, your 7th house, or your second house, you feel it. Orders slow down, clients become difficult, deals fall through. It's not what the universe is punishing you. Saturn is simply asking, is your foundation strong enough? Saturn does not destroy businesses, but Saturn exposes weak foundation. The businesses that survive Saturn transit become unshakable. Let me give you a real example. I had a client, a textile manufacturer, who started his business in 2019 when Saturn was in his ninth house. Great position, business grew 40% in first year, another 30% in second year. Then Saturn moved into his 10th house in early 2022. Within 3 months, biggest client cancelled a contract. Two key employees left. Machine broke down. He came to me thinking some competitor had done some black magic, but no black magic, just Saturn doing Saturn things. When we look at his chart, we could see the transit coming, and here's what important. We could also see when it would end. That gave him something crucial, a timeline. He didn't shut down. He used those 2.5 years to fix system and eliminating weak links. When Saturn moved on in 2024, his business was strong twice. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. Why your competitor is doing better? If this is all about timing, why is that person who started after me doing better than me? Simple answer, different chart, different timing. Let's say you started your business in Moon Mahadasha, Saturn under Dasa. Moon Saturn combination can be challenging for business because Moon in emotion and Saturn is obstacles. Meanwhile, your competitor started in Jupiter Mahadasha, Venus Antardasha. Jupiter Venus is one of the most auspicious combination for wealth and expansion. You're both putting in 12 hours a day. Same industry, same market, but you're swimming against a current they don't know exist. Here's the frustrating truth. They don't know why they are succeeding either. They think it's their strategy, their talent, their hustle, and those things help. I agree. But if the chart timing is not supporting it, even the best strategies falls flat. This is why comparing yourself to others in business is useless. You're not running the same race. You're not on the same track. You're not even in the same stadium. The person succeeding now might hit their difficult period in 2 years. You might be entering your golden phase right when they're entering their struggle. So the question is not why them and not me. The question is what phase am I in and how do I navigate it? Okay, enough theory. Let's talk about what you actually do with this information. First, stop fighting the wrong battle. If you have been stuck for a while and nothing seems to work, stop doing more of the same. That's like trying to sail faster when there's no wind. You'll just exhaust yourself. Instead, ask, what phase am I in? Is this a time to push or a time to strengthen? You don't need your full chart analyzed to sense this. Trust your gut. If everything feels like wading through mud, you might be in a consolidation phase, not an expansion phase. Second, focus on what you can control. During challenging planetary periods, external success might be limited, but internal development that's always available. Use slow period to fix systems that were good enough before, strengthen customer relationships, build skills you have been postponing, eliminate the weak links in your business. When the favorable period returns, and it will return, you will be ready to capture it fully. Now, third, know your timeline. Every challenging period has an end date. Every slow phase eventually shift. This is why understanding your dasha period matter. When you know the approx timeline, this antar dasha run for another 14 months or Saturn move out in 6 months, you can plan that I am in slow phase for next 14 months. I don't know when this will end gives you anxiety, but that gives you plan. I'll be sharing how to understand your dasha period in upcoming videos, so make sure you're subscribed. And here's the formula behind the 2-3 year pattern. Antardasha duration most lasts between 1 to 3 years, so transition naturally occur in this time frame. Saturn transit cycle is 2.5 year in each sign, creating natural pressure point. And the dual chart factor, both your dasha and your business dasha affect growth. Vyapare dasha valam pradhanam. The business strength is the paramount. So that's the key takeaway. If you have been stuck and nothing seems to work, the problem might not be strategy, it might be your timing. Once you understand this, everything shifts. You stop blaming yourself, you stop fighting blind, you start working with your cycles instead of against them. This is not failure, this is not bad luck, this is cosmic timing. And once you understand it, you work smarter, not just harder. Drop a comment below telling me what year of business are you in. Have you noticed this 2-3 years pattern in your own journey? I would love to hear your experience. If you have questions or want to connect, you can always get in touch. I'll see you in the next video.